Assalamualaikum and very good afternoon to everyone. Okay, for those who are watching this video. Okay, as I already mentioned last week. Okay, this week would be asynchronous. I will give you a video, but I'm very sorry the video is posted on the last day of the week. But I don't think there will be much information that I will share for this week because I already shared just before you taken your that you have taken your test on the previous week. Okay, so basically, okay, I know you just what we call that escaped from the first assessment, the test, but I'm very sorry. We need to push forward a little bit. I don't think we need to push forward that much, but the other deadline of assessment is coming in soon. All right, it's coming in hot. So I would go and explain on the not on the next assessment, which is defending the proposal. Okay, so these are the things that I already what we call that taught you in the classroom about research proposal. But for this video, is focusing on how you prepare your and how to defend your proposal. Okay, as we know, proposal is something that is what we call that you propose to me a project. Okay, whatever things that you need to do. Okay, remember the field trip that you have done, remember the three problems, the capstone topic development that you have done before. It is all related to the project that you are doing right now, and you will be having what we call that the oral presentation, written proposal, as well as the defending proposal. Okay, but I decided to change for the defending proposal. You just send me by video. Okay, and I will give you feedbacks later on. Okay, whether it is okay to do that or it is not okay to do that, to save us time. Okay, so how to do the proposal? Okay, remember, proposal have that particular elements that you need to remember from introduction up until methodology. Okay, so you don't have to explain to me the data, you don't have to analyze the data, you don't have to present the data and whatsoever. You just have to explain up until methodology. It means what? Means that particular methods that you are using, how you want to get the data, and so on and so forth. But for section 14, if I'm not mistaken, the class is on Tuesday. uh, Next week you guys will be having the test, and we'll be having some lecture about this one as well, a little bit. All right, so I'm very sorry because we could not have the test on the same week like the other classes because of the immigration issue dan sebagainya. But we'll try to sort things off. Kita lambatkan sikit presentation awak, mungkin minggu depannya dan sebagainya. But for the rest, okay, you need to send up the video. But don't worry, there will be a class. Okay, there will be a physical class just before your presentation. So this one would be your what we call that the just for the instruction for you to start to kickstart your project. Okay. So these are the questions that should be asked about your project. What is the study about? What is the study being made? Where will the study be carried out? What type of data is required? Quantitative, qualitative, the one that we already discussed before. Where can be required the data found? Okay. What periods of time will be the study include? As I said, it must be manageable, it must be doable, it must be within the time frame. Okay, what will be the sample design? What techniques of data collection will be used? How will the data be analyzed dan sebagainya? So these are the questions that should be around your head right now. Okay, so we should be doing that at your group level. Okay, you should discuss on this one. Remember the topic development capstone. I asked you to come up with 3 problems and 3 what we call that semua tiga-tiga masalah dan sebagainya tu. Okay, this is the time where you need to choose one and straight away look into that particular thing. Okay, next. What is the goal of a research proposal? Okay, what is the goal? Remember, when I said about objective, jangan cakap objektif yang misi dan visi macam awak cakap yang saya discuss before tu. Alright, you need to go on the elements of that particular research. For example, if you want to look at the transportation issues, look what would be the element to define whatever things of your hypothesis. For example, how to define the one that we discussed in the class before, how we should define a person is a good person. All right, his upper and his upper, itu adalah objective. So what is the goal of the research? You should come up with at least 2 or 3 goals, minimum 2. You cannot have only one, because the research question would be goes side by side. Alright, research question dan objektif itu adalah benda yang related. Alright, okay, next. In a research proposal, the author demonstrates how why their research is relevant to their field. They demonstrate that the work is necessary to the following. Filling a gap, you don't have to fill a gap in your level. At your level, you don't have to fill a gap, because this is basically another level, masters or your PSM. Underscoring existing research on their subject. What does it mean by this is basically you try to continue someone's research, macam tu. Adding new original knowledge to the academic community's existing understanding of their subject. For example, we have already known that university has this and that, or how to improve, or what are the problems inside that particular project and whatsoever. And then those are basically, that is basically a research, okay? A research proposal also demonstrates that the author is capable of conducting this research and contributing to the current state of their field in a meaningful way. To do this, your research proposal needs to discuss your academic background and credential, as well as demonstrate that your proposal ideas have academic merit. Okay, at this level, it is not required to go in until that level, academic merit and whatsoever, because we are doing only 3, what we call that, 3 apa kalau kita ni 30102, I totally forgot about that. Okay, credit hours. Okay, for the credit hours, we are only using 2 credit hours, so I don't think that we have to go to that particular point that it must have academic merit. Okay, you should demonstrate a research that is what we call that, suitable in your timeline. Your timeline would be only like 3-4 weeks, alright, and then you need to present dan sebagainya. So cukuplah sekadar itu. Okay, demonstrating blah blah blah. Your research proposal also has to cover these things: research methodology you plan to use, the tools and procedures you will use to collect, analyze, and interpret the data you collect, an explanation of how your research fits the budget and other constraints that come with conducting it through your institution, department, or academic program, and so on and so forth. Okay, this is very important part. This is the very important part, okay, the one that you need to include in your video, in your what we call that defending proposal video. The first one is introduction, okay, the second one is background of the study, problem statement, research objective, or research question. All right, if you want to put both, that will be okay as well. All right, significance of research, limitation of the study, literature review, methodology. Conclusion ni tak perlu, okay. Conclusion ni conclusion kepada proposal, bukan conclusion yang terus bagi recommendation. Jangan salah faham. Alright, references and appendices. So this, I just want to make it clear. In a proposal, you have 2 assessment. The first one is defending proposal, and the second one, which is the latter one, is actually the written proposal. For the written proposal, you need to include all the words and all the things, alright? Segala apa yang awak tulis kena masukkan dalam written proposal. But for defending the proposal, you don't have to explain all those stuff, alright? It is enough if you just come up with a poster or a PowerPoint presentation, okay? A PowerPoint presentation, for example, introduction, what is that? Background of study, what is that? Problem statement, what is that? Research objective, what are those? Okay, significance, blah blah blah, and until methodology. So don't get confused between written proposal and defending proposal. For defending proposal presentation, the one that you will record your video, okay, it is basically what we call that a general idea. All right, general idea. You don't have to include all the words, okay. But for the written proposal, you have to go in very detail on each one of them. Okay, let's say for introduction, you just have to explain what are the things that what we call that, have been done globally, and then up going down to Malaysia, going down to UTHM. But you don't have to explain every single bit of the story. Alright, faham presentation dengan written kan dua benda berbeza. So untuk presentation for this defending proposal is only presentation. So you just come up with a PowerPoint or maybe a poster, the one that I can read, that I can understand, and then while you are explaining to me, I look at your presentation, I look at your slides, I totally understand. Macam tu. Alright, but the other one for the written proposal, which the due date would be at the last semester, okay, that would be very clear, that would be very informative dan sangat banyak words dia. Okay, but for the defending proposal is just for the presentation. Okay, so don't get confused between those two. Introduction. I don't want to explain more on this one because you can refer back, and we have done this. Okay, we have done this in the classroom. So I don't want to go one by one, but these are some of the insights of the things that you need to do. Okay, so what that you have to do before our class next week. Okay, week 7. Right now is week 6, right? If I'm not mistaken. Yes. This week is week 6. All right. I'm very sorry the video is so late. Okay, but it is okay. It is okay for all of you because you don't have to do much. You need to get into groups. All right, over the weekend or maybe somewhere, what we call that, in next week. Okay, you need to get in group and try to discuss whatever things that you need to come out. You need the topic should be. All right, and then you should have a draft. You should have a draft. What are the things that you need to do, and blah 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 blah. And then next week we will be having a physical classroom. I will come to the class. Okay, I will come to the class, and you will show to me. Okay, you will show to me what are the topics that you are looking at, and maybe I could make some adjustment on that. Alright, kemungkinan besar topik ni besar sangat, kecil sangat dan sebagainya. So next week we will see groups by groups. Okay, for section 14, the one yang belum buat test lagi, you guys will be having the test first. Okay, buat test dulu. Right after the test, we will be discussing on this one. Okay, but not that much. Saya faham dia akan ambil masa banyak kan, so saya takkan buat macam-macam sangat lah. I will try to make it faster, and I will try to make it as soon as possible because tak adil untuk ambil masa awak yang lebih. Okay, but for the other classroom, okay, we will go in details. Alright, for example, the class in Pago, okay, we will go groups by groups. In class in the E15, we will go group by group. For the class in the library, we'll do the test first, and after that we'll try to go briefly on the topic. So the video for this week is basically an instruction for you. Okay, the instruction for you to come up with what we call that, some rough ideas. You need to start to think of something, doing some sketch. Okay, jangan bila minggu depan saya jumpa grup awak macam tak ada apa-apa, nak buat apa, nak buat tu, nak buat ni, awak tak ada idea lagi. At least you have your idea so that we can go through from there. Okay, so kenapa saya buat macam ni? Sebab saya nak markah defending proposal awak bagus. Kalau saya tak betulkan dulu, nanti markah defending proposal awak tak cantik. Alright, so this is somehow will give you some benefits for your marks as well. Okay, so the video will be short. Okay, it's just for the instruction, and you need to focus on this slide right now. Okay, the structure and everything. So maybe kita dah belajar literature review sikit kan dekat kelas, tapi minggu seterusnya saya akan ajar literature review lagi. So mungkin dekat sini for this time, for this particular assessment, I don't go much on the literature review because there will be other classes learning on literature review. But maybe you could give some rough ideas on what are the what we call that, what are the studies that have been done in the past that related to your study. Okay, so I don't want to explain that much because I already explained each one of them, I think, on the previous week. Okay, and please come up with a sketch, come up with a draft, so that when I see you in the physical classroom next week, you have something to discuss with me. And make sure you establish a group already right now, because the group is very important. because all the assessment after this will be in group. Okay, I think that's all. Thank you so much. Have a good one. Assalamualaikum and bye bye.